Welcome to the Cecil Weathers Golf Team Center. We're in the Academic Center. I'm getting ready to talk a little bit about our Spring 2012 preview. It's been a great season so far, weather-wise, for the Hoosiers. We've been outside playing a lot of golf and really working a lot on our short game and our playing situations. And that's the big thing, I think, coming off winter, is trying to get yourself into playing shape after a couple-month layoff. Well, we've got a great spring set up right now. The schedule starts out this week where we play a match against Wisconsin at the site of the Central District Invitational, which is really going to be a great event for us. I mean, we're starting out at River Wilderness. It's a tough field, a very highly ranked field, headlined by Michigan State. It's their home tournament. We've got Ohio State, Oklahoma, TCU, Vanderbilt, North Carolina. From the Big Ten, we've got Northwestern, Minnesota, Michigan, Michigan State, Indiana, Iowa State rounds out the field. So, I mean, it's a top-level field to really jumpstart our spring. And we're excited about getting off and getting going on in this first week. Well, our schedule this year is set up in a manner to really get going out of the gate fast. I mean, we have 2 tournaments. Starting out with the Wisconsin match down at River Wilderness, then leading into the Central District. Then we have a little bit of a break. Then we go on our spring break trip down to Augusta State's tournament, which is another very strong field. We're back at the end of March. We head to Tucson, which is the Mountain View, where we've played very, very well over the course of the years. Have a little bit of a break, and then we head into April, which is really the stretch time for women's golf. April will host the Indiana Invitational here on campus in the second weekend of April. Have a week and a half or 2 weeks off, and then head to the Big Ten Championship down at French Lick. So, the schedule is really kind of grouped into 3 little parts. The first part being the Florida swing, the second part being the travel to spring break, and then a quick one out to Arizona, and then home, a little bit of break in between, trying to get ourselves geared up for our home event, and ultimately the Big Ten Championship. Well, I'd have to say the biggest improvements, the areas that we really stressed and worked on at the end of the fall were, having a really good mindset, trying to eliminate any unforced errors. We call them correctables in the golf world, but any unforced errors that result in higher or compound scores. That's the first area we targeted. The second area we targeted was our endurance, just being as fit as we could be heading into 36-hole days. I mean, we're going to Florida. It's going to be 80 degrees, which I know sounds really awful, but 80 degrees when you're carrying your bag for 36 holes is a lot of work, and we wanted to make sure that we're in a good, as top flight condition as we can be, for that event and events subsequent to that. And then our third and probably our biggest area that we've really, really worked on is our ability on the greens. We didn't putt and execute as well on the greens in the fall season as we could have, and we took a very hard look and have worked in 3 areas, trying to control our distance better, trying to make sure that we aim our putters better, which is a huge part about putting since it's target-oriented skill. And then third and foremost, just having a really much better idea of reading the greens, what the putt's going to do, and trying to identify the amount of break and the speed that we have to hit it. And we've spent a lot of time working on that, on the golf course as well as off the golf course, trying to shore up those areas in preparation for this weekend. Well, representing Indiana University in our first event of the season, the annual kickoff, spring kickoff with University of Wisconsin. Playing in the number 1 position will be Rosie Davies. Rosie has had a great fall, has worked really hard in the off season, and I expect her good play to carry over into the spring. Kate Coons hits the number 2 spot, and Kate has really got it together this winter and is in a great frame of mind mentally, and her swing and game look pretty good overall. Elizabeth Tong is in her 3rd spot. Elizabeth's a freshman, had a great freshman fall, and I'm looking for some really good things from Elizabeth. She hits the ball well, and I think with just a little bit more playing, she's going to be a real force to be reckoned with in the Big Ten down the road. Kristany Kane, our senior, is playing in the number 4 spot. Kristany, another great Indiana player, is looking to start her final semester of collegiate play off on the right foot, and I I know that she'll have a great start to this. In the number 5 spot is Pamela Berninski. Pam was just a rock for us. She was steady. She gave us really good countable scores, and we're looking for Pam to continue doing that in terms of the countable scores, as well as throwing a couple of the low numbers, which she is fully capable of doing. And Sophie Hayashi is rounding out the lineup. She's playing in the 6th spot, teeing it up against the Badgers. And Sophie has worked very, very hard on her game. So, we've got a good group of girls headed out to play the Badgers, and we're looking for some great play.